Hey, oh my goodness. Wow, sorry about that. So I did all the testing this morning, and the thing I didn't take into consideration was that my husband loves to play video games. So it just kind of, the broadband wasn't wide enough. So we just, to keep everybody happy, we connected to the dongle which we have. So I'm connected to the dongle which I have in the car, and my husband's happily playing his video games. So can't deprive a man of their video game. How are we all this morning? Can I get a thumbs up, please? Can you guys, just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started so we can communicate with each other. So yeah, if you just drop down into your chat box there, you guys can, look at your emoji picker, and there's a lot to choose from there. But right now, I guess what I'm asking for is the peace sign. So if I can get a little bit of love and a little bit of peace signs, just so that I know that the sound's okay, the board's okay, not too much light. I can close the blind if it's too bright, and so that we can get going on this journey. So yeah, just some thumbs up and some love would be great, everybody. The link? Oh, what link exactly are you after? And Gabby, are you all good? Everyone all good to go? And for the link, let me just see what we got here. Beautiful. Okay, so Sean's good to go, and I've got that link in there, and for some reason, let me just try that one there. Oh, good, thanks. All right, so let's get started. Thank you for all joining me with your time. What we're going to look at today is a complaint letter or an email, which is really important because not only for the IELTS test, but to empower yourselves. So as an international student in a different country, you might feel disempowered to express yourself, and things don't always go the way you want. So it's important that you can express yourself without being angry or frustrated, but getting your message across, and then of course getting what you need in return, because people make mistakes, and sometimes you need to let them know that they've made a mistake, or a business makes a mistake, and you need to communicate with them effectively without causing offensive or even more importantly, yourself, without getting upset. So making sure that you can express yourself. So before we get started, when we write a letter, when we learn English, there's 4 different areas that you have to work on in English. So it's not just vocabulary or grammar. Of course, they're important. So we have the vocab here, and we have the grammar here. But of course, most of you know that there are 2 other things that are very important. And it is about being on task, on topic, and then of course how you connect your ideas and sentences together. So task is important as well, because if you've ever had a conversation with someone and you ask them a question and they've started rambling about something else, that can get a little bit frustrating. So being on task is a really important part of the process. And then connect, and they're all as equally important. So 25% here, 25% here. When you do the IELTS exam, there are 3 types of letters, 3 broadly speaking. So we have letter A. So formal language creates distance, so distance among people, and informal language brings people closer. So obviously, if it's a formal letter, it's for people that we don't know. Informal, it's for our friends, and semi is somewhere in the middle. So someone that you know, but you're not really friends. So it might be your lecturer, or it might be your boss. So they're someone you know, but not exactly your best friend. But the one we want to work on today is formal. So just before we move on, I do like the live classes to be a little bit more interactive. So there are 4 parts of the letter, that 4 different parts that make English great English. Can I get you just to type in the chat box what those 4 parts are for me, please? I'll give you 30 seconds. What was this one? This one was really important. And what was this one? This one's just as important. And then here, what did we have here? Most people know this one. And then, of course, the last one was grammar. All right, go ahead and type in that chat box for me, please. You can just put the letters, but yes, task response is correct, Gabby. Beautiful. Cohesion and coherency, beautiful. Thank you, Gabby. Cohesion and coherency, how we connect our ideas and sentences. This one here is vocabulary, beautiful. And then the last one here is the obvious one, grammar. Beautiful. Excellent. Can I just have that one more time, everybody? Just say it out loud for me, okay? So even though you're in your room, don't worry. Repetition is a very important, powerful part of learning. So the first one is 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And the next one is 3, 2, 1. You can say connecting ideas, or you can say coherency and cohesion, whatever you prefer. And this one here is 3, 2, 1. Good job, everybody. And the last one there is, of course, grammar. Beautiful. Well done. Good. Now, writing a letter, it's not like an essay. We don't have paragraphs, but we do have pieces of the letter that are very important. So we have the 8 steps to letter writing over here. I just turn the board a little bit out of the light for you. So 8 steps to letter writing. The first step to letter writing is what we call opening. Opening. So like I'm opening a book. I'm opening up my letter. So opening. The second part of the letter writing is what we call background. I'll write these on the board in a moment, but right now you might want to just write them down. Background. And I point to my back to remind me. Beautiful. The next one is purpose, why we're writing. So what's the reason for writing? Why am I writing? Sorry, BP is background and purpose. Background and purpose go together. So background and why I'm writing, BP. If you remember the BP petrol station, so BP, so background and purpose while I'm writing. The third one here is info A or info 1. The fourth one here is info 2. So information 1, information 2. So a nice paragraph of information 1 and information 2. So the first one, what's the first one again? Beautiful, that's right, opening. What's the second one? BP, background and purpose. Well done, good job. What's the third one? Information 1. What's the fourth one? Information 2. Beautiful. The next one is, this here means come here, or I want something. So I'm signaling that I want something. So this is request. Request. Beautiful. That's number 5. Number 6 is signal, like a signpost. So just imagine that's like a stop sign. It's a signal. And it's a signal close. So signaling that I'm going to close my letter. And I'll explain those in a minute. Signal close. The last one is, 7 is close. So actually closing. So just imagine like I've got the, I don't know, close your mouth. Close your mouth. Close. And then the last one is sign. Signature. So the 8 steps to letter writing. And that doesn't matter what letter you have. Remember the 3 different types of letters we have? 3 different tones. We had formal. Good. We had in the middle, semi. Beautiful. And then the last one we had informal. So all of these 3 letters can use the 8 steps. Step number 1 for me, everybody. Say it out loud. Good job. Opening. Step number 2. Say it out loud. Background and purpose. Beautiful. Step number 3. Say it out loud. Information 1. Step number 4. Information 2. Step number 5. Request. Beautiful. Step number 6. signal, signal, close. Step number 7, close. And step number 8, sign. Beautiful. The 8 steps to letter writing. Can I get you to write those in the chat box for me, please? All right, there's 8 of you online right now. I would like to see 8 people typing crazily in that chat box for me, the 8 steps to letter writing. And I'm going to put them on the board for you as well. Beautiful. Okay, Mickey Choi, can I get you typing in the 8 steps to letter writing for me, please? Well done, Gabby. Gabby, well done. Mickey Choi, Ho, can I get you typing in the chat box for me, please? Who else have we got online today? There's a few there that haven't said hello. If you are new to the Turner TV today, if you could just chat and say hi in the chat box, that would be great, just to say hi to your classmates, or you can just send a peace sign if you like. Good, thanks, Mickey. Nice to see you. Well done. Beautiful. Excellent. Nice, Hal. Good, 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 good. I'm probably pronouncing that a little bit funny. I'm sorry. No worries. And we had Keith there somewhere. Maybe Keith can send us some love. And there's a few more of you who are kind of sitting quietly, which would be great to get to know your names and voices today. Hi, Keith. Yeah, could I get the 8 steps to letter writing for me, please? Well done. Can be seen. Beautiful. And for those of you who have done the 8 steps already, can you copy this question down for me, please? And I'll just turn that so that those lights don't get there. Good. Suggestion, request, signal, close, and signature. Well done, Hal. Beautiful. Just trying to make that board a little bit. Okay, that made it worse. Sorry. We can just. There we go. Beautiful. All right, everybody. So just before we flip over again, can I just get the 8 steps? I'll get you just to say it out loud for me. The first one is, good job, opening. The second one is, background and purpose. Why are you writing the letter? The third one is beautiful. Information 1. The second one, the fourth one, information 2. The next one, request or suggestion, making a suggestion or a request. They're the same, similar. And then the next one, stop. Signal, stop. Good. Closing signal. The next one, close. Beautiful. Nice and in a loud voice. And the last one, signature, signing your signature. So the 8 steps to letter writing never change. I'm just going to flip over here. Beautiful. Let's have a look at some examples. So if we're writing a complaint letter, which is the topic for today, we're going to have an opening which is going to be formal. So our formal, this one's really simple. So the formal for this one will just be dear sir or slash madam. Okay. Dear sir or madam. If you know their name, you can say Mr. or Miss or Mrs. But otherwise just dear sir or madam. Or you might say, another popular one is to whom it may concern. Just like that you want to remember, to whom it may concern, or dear sir or madam. Either of those are acceptable. Okay, the background and purpose, I just want to have a little look at this one here. I want to go a little bit deeper. So when with the background will actually come from the question. So you can write a little bit of background depending on what the question says. And you can start with your name. So my name is Narada Turner. I'll just put the sample here. My name is Narada Turner. And you can see there I'm not using contractions. So my name, I'm using a very long, drawn-out language. Narada Turner. And I am writing. Good. So here, I'm not saying I'm, because I'm is informal. So I'm making sure it's formal. I am writing. And then I can say why I'm writing. So, for example, sometimes the letters might be to ask. Sometimes the letters might be to request. Sometimes the letters might be to inform. But this one today is to complain. Okay? And then with that one, when we use to complain, we have to have a preposition at the end. So my name is Narada Turner and I am writing to complain. And the preposition, anyone want to put their hand up for that preposition after that? What's the preposition that comes after complain? I'm sure some of you know it. Someone want to put it in the chat box for me? To complain about, and then I explain the situation. So the preposition is very important. So always remember that about goes with complain, because you are going to complain about something. So, dear sir or madam, or let's use to whom it may concern. To whom it may concern, my name is Narada Turner and I'm writing to complain about. In that background there, I can add information here as well. So I can put my name, or perhaps if I'm writing about a restaurant that I've been to and I didn't enjoy, I might put the details of the restaurant. So you want to remember www. So who, where, what, when, why. Not why. Why comes here. But who, where, what, when. Try that again for me, everybody. Who, where, what, when. The 4 W's. Can I get you to write that in the chat for me? Who, where, what, when. What's the first W stand for? Who. Who are we talking about? Narada. Where? Maybe the name of the restaurant. When? Last Saturday, the 4th of June. Or maybe April 1, April Fool's Day. I hope you guys have got some jokes for your family today. Who, where, when, and what. So what might be, we went to the restaurant for a birthday party. Or it might be the lasagna that I ordered was not quite right. Or it might be the service. The service was was poor. So those details there are very important. Who, where, what, when. Beautiful. Good. Thanks, Sean. Keith, my apologies. Beautiful. Okay. So the detail is what's important. So with this one here, how many words is our letter supposed to be? And really, IELTS letters are representative of the true in real life. So, you know, if you're writing a letter of complaint to someone, you don't need to go crazy. How many words do we need? Can you see that? Good. The way we want to work it is the test asks for 150 words. So if you're after a band 6, I would suggest 150 words. If you're after a band 7, I am suggesting 175, and then maybe 200, but no more than 200. Why am I suggesting to write a little bit more? Well, to get a 7, 8, or 9, you have to demonstrate control and mastering of the English language. And so that's very difficult in a short amount of words. For a 6, we just want to get the job done. We just want to pass the test. We just want to get 150 words tick. But for 7 and 8, we really need to demonstrate a little bit more depth in our language. And it is impossible to do that with 150 words. So it is a minimum 175 and about 200. So coming back to our background and purpose. So this one, of course, is just going to be maybe 4 words at the most. But this one here is going to be maybe 30 words. The close is, again, maybe 2 words, and the signature is 1. So 8, 10, 11. So we have 11, let's just say 11 words here. We have 35 here. So 35 plus 11 is, did I do that? 30, yes, I'm rounding it. So 34, 44. So that's 45 words. So 175 take away 45 is 130. Divided by 3 equals, we have about 40 to 50 words for each of these parts here. Okay, so it's not like an essay where it's nice and even. You'll have to have most of your information in information 1. Information 2, request can be quite big, probably smaller than the other 2. So what I would suggest is 50, 50, 40. It depends on what you're asking for, really, and there's no rule. And then just finish off the rest of the complaint letter. So let's get moving. So first of all, signal close. I'll come back to the information A, B, 1, 2, and request in a moment. Let's have a look at the easier ones right now. So signal close is just something like, you know, you're going to say, I look forward to your response. And you just memorize those phrases. So just make sure your prepositions are right. Look forward to your response. These for a band 7 do have to be 100% accurate. Yeah, no mistakes. And of course 8 and 9. Closing is just the way we finish our close. If it's formal, we finish with faithfully. If it's semi-formal, we finish with sincerely. And if it's informal, which is your friend, you might just say, you know, see ya, something like that. But basically, F equals F, faithfully, S equals S. So faithfully, formal, faithfully, semi-formal, sincerely, informal, see ya. Things like that. So, yeah, so you can, this one is a formal. So this one we will finish with faithfully. Beautiful. There is kind regards and regards in the world as well. And yes, you could certainly use regards. My job is to give you easy to remember techniques and strategies that will work under exam pressure. So if you're wondering, you know, what to rely on, and sometimes, you know, should I use regards? Should I use kind regards? Is a question that you do not want to spend any time on. So we've always taught F faithfully, S sincerely, just because it sticks very quickly, and you don't have to spend any time thinking about that in your test, because you're busy concentrating on everything else that you have to do, like those 4 things. So the 4 things you have to concentrate on is, the first one is, beautiful, good. The second one is, say it out loud for me. Good job, everybody. Go on. If you're not saying it out loud, I want you to do it again right now. You've only got 1 shot at this. Beautiful, good. And those of you who still aren't saying it out loud, come on, give me some love. The third one is vocabulary, beautiful. And of course, the last one we all know is the big grammar. We have to have our grammar correct. Just a quick note on grammar while we're here. So for the band scores, 6, 7, 8, 9. General rule, 6, 50% of your sentences have to be correct. Okay, so for band 6, 50% of your sentences must be correct. For band 7, how much you think? Beautiful, yeah, 70% of your sentences must be grammatically correct. So they don't have to be big, rambunctious sentences. They can be short, sharp sentences, but they have to be correct. And so really what makes a 7 and an 8 is the vocabulary, is the vernacular that you're going to use, the vocabulary. And on Friday, every Friday here at Turner TV, I do a live vocabulary building class, which is really powerful. When I went to school, I didn't have a really good memory, and I wasn't, for a lot of years there, I was top of the class, but then I got to high school and it kind of started to drop off. And I believe that it was due to the teaching methods from the teachers. I know I shouldn't blame them, but they really just didn't grab me. There wasn't that pull again. So I've spent my life, my career and my profession trying to think about learning how to teach people things that stick and make it, a powerful lesson, and making sure that they're, that when they give me their time, I'm making the most of it, and I'm not just rambling on. A little bit I'm rambling on now, but I'm getting to the point. So the point is that on Friday, when we have the memory pegs for boosting your vocabulary session on Turner TV, it's about getting some strategies in that you can learn, that are easy to learn, that are going to help you retain information and retain vocabulary. And the more you practice it, the more powerful and the more easy it gets. So don't miss that, 11:15 here on Turner TV for boosting memory pegs to boost your vocabulary. And I'm sure you're going to love it, and I'd love your feedback. But back to the job. So 7 and 8 is really about vocabulary. But 175 words, and how many sentences? What's the percentage of the grammar that has to be accurate for a band 7 for that examiner to give you the big 7? Anyone catch it? We know that 6 is 50%, beautiful. And so 7 is 70%. Well done. Good job, everybody. Let's get back to the board. So 8 steps to letter writing. Background. We have a nice background here. Today we're going to work with, oh my goodness, excuse me. I will just switch that off. Next time I'll remember to do that. So we'll have to whom it may concern. Okay. And then for the background and purpose, we're going to give in here the 4 W's. What are they, everybody? The 4 W's. Good, and I can see Gabby's got those up there. Keith's giving me some love, and Hal's got me some love as well. There's a couple of people who are sort of still haven't said hello yet. It'd be nice to hear from you in the chat box. But thank you for joining us anyway. So who, where, what, why, when. And then to complain and the preposition about. So to complain about my dinner, to complain about my bank account, to complain about my dishwasher that I bought, anything like that. Then we have the info 1, the info 2, the request. Signal close is 1 sentence. I look forward to hearing from you. It doesn't have to be any stronger than that. When you're writing letters to people, they get the point. So they've got the point after the info 1 and the info 2. And in fact, kind of the more neutral you are, the more likely you're going to get a positive response, which is really what you want. You just want a positive response. You want to be heard. You want to be acknowledged. And then you've got what you want here. And then you don't kind of have to say, like, I want your immediate feedback and, you know, things like that, because it's people, it just rubs people up the wrong way a little bit. I know people who do it. Yeah, we have an expression that you catch more flies with honey. And I've always believed that. Have a think about that. You catch more flies with honey. But anyway, close, faithful, because it's formal, and signature is just beautiful, your signature. Okay. Capiche, can I get a thumbs up if everybody's following? And we will move on to actually an example right now. But if I could have a little bit of love from everyone, that would be great. You've got your emoji cons down in the right-hand side. So the emojis are down there. If you have a question, please feel free to bump in a question there for me. I'm happy to answer those. Beautiful. Oh, thank you, Keith. That's lovely. Thank you very much. There's some cute ones down there, isn't there? Yeah. If you want to ask a question, maybe use this one. That one there would certainly grab my attention, and I could stop and ask that question. Yeah, so now's probably a good time if you do have any Q&As before we move on to the second part. Yes, absolutely. Great question, Mickey. Thank you. We can have an example of the who. In fact, let's go to our example question. All right. So just hopefully you can all read that. I wonder if that light might help. Now we're getting into some study. Nice dark and dingy study rooms where people are doing IELTS. Okay, let's have a look at the question that we're going to do today. So always read the question twice, if not thrice. So just take your time right now. I'll give you 1 minute to read that question for me. Nice to see you, Panu. Third Panu. Thanks for joining us today. And make sure you read it again if you haven't read it twice already. And maybe just give me a thumbs up when we're ready to go. Gabby, where did you get that thumbs up from? I've been looking for that icon. Ah, a little bit further down. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, there's lots and lots to play with there. Where did that thumbs up go? There we go. Nice. Okay, everybody, good. Good. Okay, so we'll move on. All right. So 8 steps, first of all. Beautiful. Next one. Beautiful. Good. Next one. Good. Good. And what's next? Good. Hey, Anne. Nice to see you online today. Thanks for saying hi. Next one. Good. And the next one. Beautiful. Good. Okay. So the opening, we obviously to whom it may concern. And then here, the BP is going to come from here. Okay. The who, what, where, when is going to come from here. So you have a bank account, got a letter from the bank, account's overdrawn, and they will charge us. Okay, so it works like this. So to whom it may concern. So the background is my name is Narada Turner, and recently I received what? A letter. Where? From your bank. Who? When? Dated Friday, 16th of May. Who, what, when, and there is no where because it's a letter. So recently I received a letter, and then you can say what that letter is regarding. That said, my account is overdrawn, and that your bank will, my name's Nerida Turner, and recently I received a letter that said my account is over, and not recently. Here, more detail, the higher your score. So last Friday, the 16th of May, I received a letter from the Commonwealth branch in Box Hill that stated my account was overdrawn and they are going to charge me $70. So I'm writing to complain about this charge because it's inaccurate. And then the next one is info 1. So then you can go into info 1 about what the problem is. So, maybe your account's not overdrawn, they've made a mistake, maybe they processed your car payments on the wrong days. So you have to create a story. So first of all, before we move on, Nikki, does that answer your question, or would you like one more example? I'm happy to do another one if you like. I'll just rub that off. So the score is in the detail. So the higher the more detail you have, the higher your score is going to be. So for example, and before you start writing, you should plan. So if we draw usually it's 3 like this. And then we have here, on the one side here will be info A, info 1, we used to call it info A, info 2, and here is request. So you want to put the information in there. So explain what happened. So you have to create something. So maybe what happened was that you had a car payment and car repayment. And you ask the bank to process it on the 1st of the month. But the bank processed it on the last day of the month. So it's 1 day early. So the bank have charged your account 1 day early, and you're waiting for your pay to go in on the 1st day. Does that make sense? So your payday or your salary comes in on the 1st day of the month, which is this one. So for example, it's the 1st of April today, and yesterday was the 31st of March. You ask the bank to process, and you can use this language, process the car repayment. So you have a car loan on the 1st of the month, which is the same day as your payday, as your salary. But the bank made a mistake and they processed it on the last day. So the money came out when you didn't have the money, and then so then you're in default, which So your account defaulted. That's a verb, by the way. So your account defaulted. So your account defaulted, which is why they want to charge you $70. Okay, so you create little stories. So this one is about the repayment, and this is about the salary and the payday. And this one is perhaps about the $70 that they're going to charge. So they will charge you $70, and then you have to create the letter. So the letter won't just say $70. They'll say we're going to charge you $70. On the 15th, make sure the money's there. So just they say the charge is on the 15th of April. So they've told me that they're going to charge me $70 on the 15th of April as a penalty. But in fact, as you can see, sorry, I'll just come, so 70, so you can see that. I'll just put this here. But then you can say, as you can see, or as I stated, that's not good. All right, I'll put these expressions here. As you can see, I can't believe I just said bugger on live YouTube video. Sorry, everybody. Aussie and heart, yeah, okay. As you can see, as I stated, and I can't erase it either, as I stated. So these statements reference the paragraph before, which will score you high for coherency and cohesion, connecting ideas and sentences. Okay, so CC. As I stated before, the mistake was the bank's mistake, not my mistake. For guys who are a little bit more advanced, I just want to make one more little point. So just when you are this is about grammar. And when you're kind of accusing someone of something, even if they are wrong, it's more polite to do it in passive voice. And it's a very advanced structure that, if you guys are 7 or 8s, you probably can handle it. So, for example, instead of you charge me, you can say my account was charged, and it just softens it nicely. So that's just a nice tip as well. And even if you're in the workforce, especially if you're in customer service, so people are always, if they ring up and say, you charge me, and you know that it's their fault, you go, no, but you didn't have the money in the bank. You can say, well, the money wasn't in the bank, sir. So the charge has been processed. Instead of a comment in the chat box today, so that I'd love your feedback on what you want to see more of. If you want to go deeper into one kind of into grammar or vocab or Aussie phrases or whatever it is, please leave a comment and a like at the end of the class so that I can get that feedback and start giving you guys content that's exactly what what you guys when it's in the classroom, I can gauge it and I can talk to students and I can figure it out, but this is a little bit different. So if you could give me that comment and feedback, that would be great. So that's info 2, and then of course request. So we're coming to the end of the hard part, which is good news. Okay, so when we request things, there's a couple of structures we can use. And I'm just going to go with a couple today, so I won't go too crazy. So I will put those. I'll just pop them here. So you can start off with saying something like, it would. So again, would just softens it a little bit. It would be a good idea To check your files and go back and fix the system. And of course, I don't want the $70 withdrawn. And then you can use a couple of sentences. I suggest that ... So just a suggestion. So that's yeah. So you can have a couple of sentence connectors in that paragraph, not just one for one paragraph. You can actually have, you know, it would be a good idea to check your accounts. I suggest that you don't deduct the $70, and you know, you might be thinking about taking them to consumer affairs, but you really don't want to play that card in the first letter. If they ignore you and you're writing a second letter, then you can get stronger. But usually we just start the first letter off pretty balanced and, you know, hope for the best, and then usually there's a good outcome. So it would be a good idea to check your records. I suggest that the $70 is not withdrawn until you've sorted out the problem. And you can even do a third one. You might want to, so that's another way to sort of give a suggestion. You might want to. So there's 3 good ones there. 1, 2, and 3. So 3 good ways to start, 3 suggestions for your paragraph. And the good thing about that is they're all taking up words. So you just have to finish the sentences. So they're just going to take up that word count for you, which is great. Any questions so far, or shall we move on to the final part of the lesson? Anything you need me to go over at this stage? Yeah, just put your hand up and then I can answer those. Otherwise, we'll continue on. Okay, so let's just go back over what we have done today. English composes of 4 different parts, and you all know now that the first one is, say it out loud for me, everybody. Come on. I know some of you need a little bit more prompting. Task response. Just repeat after me. Task response. So answering the question. Good job. Next one. Ideas. Coherency and cohesion. Connecting ideas, which is here. The next one. Peace. Good vocabulary. We all need good vocabulary to learn a language. There's no doubt about that. And the last one is grammar. Use my fist because it's like a punch, like grammar. You know, grammar got to be strong for good English. So grammar. And then the 8 steps. What are they? First one. Nice job. Good. Second one. Good. Excellent, everybody. Say it out loud for me. Third one. Good job. Fourth one. Next one. Good. We must be getting pretty good at this now. Next one. Good. Signal close. Yeah, signal close. Sorry. Next one. Excellent. Good. And then the last one is signature, sign. Good to hear you're all good. Glad, everybody. Please feel free. Again, if you've got any questions or comments after the video, just put them down the bottom of the video. And anything else you need, I'd be happy to hear those so that I can make these classes exactly what you need. Okay, so and then opening, we have three types of letters: informal, semi, formal, semi, informal. Today was formal. Beautiful. And today was also about complaint letter. So a complaint letter, but with a nice touch, nice personal, you know, human touch to get what we want. We still want something, that's okay. But yeah, you'll catch more flies with honey, as my grandma used to say. Opening. So with opening, we're going to use today the new one. The new one we're going to use today is to whom. We put an M on it. To whom, more formal, it may concern. So to whom it may concern is our opening. Background purpose, who, what, where, when, the 4 W's, and then of course writing to complain, and the preposition after complain is about. Beautiful. Info 1 comes from the story. Info 2 comes from the story. A request is yours. You have to think about the request. Even though it comes from the story, though, you have to embellish. More detail, more specific, more detail, more high the score. Even if your grammar is coming down because you're having trouble articulating yourself, your vocabulary will go up. And when you send me your writing, I can check the grammar and I can work at perhaps what are your stronger grammar structures and the weaker ones. But I want you to really just give it a shot today and not worry too much about grammar because it wasn't really the focus of today's class. So detail is, task response was the focus, okay? Signal close, so just one sentence. I look forward to hearing from you. Another one here is, I hope we can solve, we say resolve the matter, which is a nice formal one. I hope we can resolve the matter, which is just nice and friendly. If you need any more information, let me know. Oh, not let me know, that's too informal. Please don't hesitate, so you can say it that way as well. If you need more information, please don't hesitate. And then, of course, close is the faithfully or the sincerely. And then the last one is your signature. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the lesson. If you guys have any questions, now's the time. What we're going to do right now is take a, I suggest you guys take a 15-minute break. I'm going to put in your Moodle account, or maybe down the bottom of this video, I will put a question. And I'd like you guys to write the question for me. Maybe today, just while we figure it out, I'll just get you to put it underneath the video so that we can share it. And then I can sort of give some comments and some feedback. So just, yeah, I'll give you the break, and then after, what time will it be, 12:30? So 1:45, come back and write your letters for me, and I look forward to hearing from them. Any questions before we go? Beautiful. Let me just have a look there. Everyone's good? Great. So again, I just want to say thank you for coming to Turner TV and spending your hour of power with me. If you did like the video, please subscribe. Click on the link below and subscribe so you can meet me on Friday for the memory pegs to boost your vocabulary session. And yeah, and just and like the video, that would be great. All right, everybody, signing out. Take care. All the best. Happy learning.